Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead Daryl Dixon video. So we actually have a lot of news here for the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3. There's likely going to be a lot of stuff that does come out later on tonight as well. So I will be doing a video later on tonight, and it's going to be on the Walking Dead Dead City. I do want to talk about the finale and talk about a lot of what we saw there, but I do also want to talk about the Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 because that is going to be a show that we focus on quite a bit going forward now, right? Because the show is premiering in like 2.5 months. There's really not a lot of time here until the show premieres. Like, it's actually going to be happening very fast here, which is a very, very smart decision here. We'll talk about the release date, but I'm definitely very happy about this. I think that AMC is finally understanding what we want here, at least in terms of watching The Walking Dead. Like, we don't want these long breaks in between. Like, I know that sometimes there might have to be a long 4 or 5 month break or whatever, but you lose a lot of excitement there. And the fact that The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 is going to be airing super fast here, like literally in 2.5 months, and we're going to get the full trailer in a month from now, and the promotion's going to be starting right away. Like, to me, that is absolutely incredible. Like, that's what you want to do. You don't want these long breaks in between these shows because you lose a lot of the excitement, right? So I'm really, really excited for this here. There's a lot to talk about here, and yeah, just expect a lot of Dead City Season 2 finale videos coming up. Also Dead City Season 3 as well, because we're probably going to get a lot of news on that tonight. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So let's get into this. They actually released a teaser trailer here, and yeah, we'll break down exactly what happens here, but I do want to talk about the release date here first. So the release date for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3 is September 7th. So it's actually a month sooner than I thought the show was going to be coming out, because I really thought it was going to be coming out in October. Like, the show has consistently came out now every single September. Like, every September, it's been coming out now. And honestly, I think that's really incredible for the show, because that is something that, first of all, I can't even believe it's been almost a year since The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2 aired. I mean, it'll be a year in September, but like, I can't believe it's already been like that long, because I feel like The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2 just came out. But I guess, you know, the really long break that we had there, I'm just sort of remembering it wrong right now. But yeah, September 7th. To me, this is very smart, because the one thing about The Walking Dead that I really liked, and I think what works really well with The Walking Dead, is when you're sort of celebrating the show overall and you're excited about the story, right? And I think when you're able to watch The Walking Dead for a long time, like a lot of months all together, it's exciting. And I think that's the one thing that AMC, you know, I want them to know when it comes to, you know, watching The Walking Dead. Like, people want to watch it all the time. Like, that's the one thing I've noticed. Like, even with Fear the Walking Dead, that worked a lot with the show, because it was something that, like, yeah, maybe not everyone watched it, but for those that really, really love The Walking Dead, they watched Fear the Walking Dead, and it was just something to watch, you know, in the off season while we waited for The Walking Dead. And I think that honestly, they should have another spinoff airing, like, you know, maybe like early winter or whatever, while we wait for Dead City and The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, right? So I think that having these shows airing so close together, it makes it feel like The Walking Dead, because The Walking Dead always had mid-season breaks, right? And we would have to wait 2.5 months, sometimes up to 3 months for like the second half of the season. That's kind of what we're doing right now. Like, we have to wait, what, 2.5 months now until The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3, and then we actually get to watch that show until, like, what, I guess at some point mid-October, mid to late October or whatever. So yeah, a lot of excitement for me personally when it comes to watching this show. The fact that, I mean, we really have this show now to talk about for the next however many months, right? Next 4 months now. So this is going to be really awesome. I'm really happy with the way that they've actually released The Walking Dead here, and this year so far, especially because I really like the Dead City Season 2 finale. I think this year's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for Season 3. The story seems really interesting here, and we'll talk about it. But yeah, in terms of the release date here, this is incredible. And honestly, because they're filming Season 4 right now, and Dead City Season 3 apparently is going to be filming this summer, I'm really interested in when these shows are going to actually be coming out, because it seems like they are a little bit faster now at releasing the seasons, because before it was always like, well, once they finished filming, it felt like it took a year, you know, for the show to actually air. But now it seems like these shows are actually coming out a lot quicker, because The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon finished filming, I believe, earlier this year, and so Season 3 is already coming out in September. So yeah, just really incredible stuff. I think that that's really good for, I mean, all of us watching The Walking Dead, right? So What's really exciting about this teaser is that there is somewhat of a mention to Rick Grimes. There's kind of a Rick Grimes Easter egg here, and that is kind of the funny thing when it comes to both of the shows, right? Like with The Walking Dead Dead City and The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. If you want the Rick Grimes mentions or like any sort of story to Rick Grimes, like it's going to be with The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. The Walking Dead Dead City, it makes sense to have some sort of connection there, but I just think because it's Maggie and Negan, and their story is like, it's always been kind of separate from Rick's. I would say Daryl and Carol are a lot closer to him. I think that just makes a lot of sense that a lot of the connections will be more with The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, if you want that connection to Rick. And so the Rick Grimes Easter egg here is actually when Daryl says, and my friend bet on hope. And obviously that was something that, Rick always did, right? Like that's sort of what kept him going. And I think that there will be a lot of mentions of Rick, and I think just other storylines like that. I think that's the one thing about the story here in season 3 is like there's a lot of criticisms about like certain aspects to the show that I think they will end up fixing here, because like that was the one thing when you look back at filming season 1 and 2, they basically filmed both seasons back to back, right? And so there wasn't a lot of like, well, I gotta fix this storyline or do this, because it was all filmed just like that. And so a lot of the criticisms after season 2 I think will be worked on. I do think there will be a lot more connections and stuff like that to Rick Grimes, or like mentions of stuff like that. And you look at Dead City as well. I think like you just look at season 2, they literally made it 8 episodes, right? That was a big criticism for the spinoffs. And so I think that this stuff is slowly starting to happen here. I think for Dead City season 3, they're getting a new showrunner, and the show always gets new life whenever there's a new showrunner. Like the tone changes so much. There's just a totally different feel, different storylines and everything. So it'll be really interesting to see how things change going forward. I think that there will be more of a connection to other characters like Rick Grimes and stuff, and the stories will have other characters, because that's a big criticism right now. And I think that that is something that they are going to work on, because again, it's something that everyone's talking about right now. They are filming season 4 right now. I think for Dead City season 3 as well, it's going to change a lot for that season. So yeah, obviously we see here in the teaser, first of all, a lot of Spain. So that's going to be really incredible. I think the environment is going to be really cool because, first of all, that was the big thing about, the France storyline was just like being in a totally different environment. And it was just really shocking at first. It was just like, what is this? This is not like The Walking Dead. But, it was really refreshing to see. I think it's going to be the same thing here with Spain. I think there's a lot of stuff that you're able to do with that story. And I really like what Norman Reedus says. And it wasn't just him as well. Like Greg Nicotero said the same exact thing. He was like, it's not like we're just filming, a lot of scenes here in these places and it's going to be more like an American TV show. It's like, no, we're filming in France and it's going to feel like a France TV show. It's the same thing with Spain. It's going to feel the same way. And I think you really felt that in The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon season 1 and 2. And I think it makes everything feel very authentic. And honestly, like I think that's one of my favorite parts of this show so far is just all the different locations and like what that means for like the walkers and everything, right? Like how walkers are different around the world. And so I'm interested in seeing what that means for season 3 here. Is there going to be a different type of variant? Like what are we going to be getting into here in season 3? We see a lot of celebration here. So I know that that is a big part of at least what happens early on. So we don't know what this community is called yet, but it looks like there is a lot of celebrating and stuff. It's like this whole event that is happening. And again, I'm not sure, what they're celebrating overall, but it does look like what happens is a lot of walkers show up. And so that's what's going to be kind of interesting is like learning all of the characters and I guess like just the different groups out there, right? Like there's going to be, I guess this group here is likely not going to be the villains, but there's going to be like a villain group out there. What are they called? And like, what is the whole thing with their story, right? Like what are Daryl and Carol getting into being here, right? So it looks like a lot of walkers show up here and a lot of craziness happens here. So yeah, this is going to be really cool. We do see Carol here and just so cool to actually see her here. And I'm so happy that the story for season 3 is just going to be Daryl and Carol together here and like no like reunion story and all that, because I think Rick and Michonne reuniting was awesome. There's some stuff with Maggie and Negan, and I guess Daryl and Carol was kind of exciting, but it was just the whole build to getting Carol over there was just not the funnest story, I would say, and it really took away from the France storyline. Just having the characters together here for season 3, like they're all a part of the story now. I think that's why I really liked the last 2 episodes of season 2. of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, because it just felt like, okay, this is what the show was supposed to be, right? And so that's kind of why, honestly, like those last 2 episodes, and also seeing the teaser for season 3 after the season 2 finale, I was like, okay, this is going to be a really great show going forward here. And I mean, I really like season 1, but I wasn't really a fan of season 2. But I think that the direction they're going here with having the characters together, just having Carol on the show, like they're just both here on the show now, it's going to be awesome. We see some really cool shots here of these walkers, and it looks like whoever's on this horse going down the train tracks here. I mean, I don't know who this character is, but it is a mystery character, it seems like. Like, based off of all the teasers or any of the scenes that we've seen so far, whoever this character is, they're sort of keeping hidden right now, and there is a train behind them. And I know that based off of some of the filming stuff, like they've talked about, I think Norman Reedus actually mentioned, like, there's going to be a really amazing, like, train sequence here that's going to happen. So I'm really curious on, like, what that means overall. I think that we're gonna get some really cool Daryl scenes there, but yeah, we'll see what that means. But we also have this shot here of, it looks like it's Jason Voorhees, honestly. Like, it really, that's the first thing I thought of. And really cool character, I will say, at least just the way the character looks. Like, I'm really wondering if this character is going to be, like, a big character in the season here, or is this character more just, like, you know, a side character, or, like, what's going on here? The character looks really cool, I'll say that. But, yeah, really interesting shot. We then get this shot here of Daryl and Carol, and I don't know if they're looking at a fire. There's a fire behind them, but is this in Spain? What's happening here? I believe they're probably sitting on Daryl's motorcycle, because it looks like they're about to, like, drive somewhere, and I mean, obviously something happened here. Maybe this is like the end of an episode or something like that. But yeah, just really incredible teaser here. Honestly, I feel like I should really go back and look at every single teaser trailer that they've released, and like see if I can put together some sort of story, because they've released a lot now, and there's actually a lot of details that we have learned in terms of the cast and everything. And so I'll talk about that in another video, because getting into all that here, I mean, there's a lot of stuff here, and we know a lot of characters' names now, and so I'll get into that and break down everything just shot for shot and literally get into like everything with the show here. There's actually a lot of images that have come out as well, but I just wanted to talk about the release date here and this teaser in this video. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 3. I cannot wait for the show to come out. It's only 2.5 months away. It does feel like out of the 2 shows that this show is the more exciting show for a lot of people. Like, I like both shows, but it seems like just overall, a lot of people prefer The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, and it might just be because it's Daryl, honestly. Like, I just look at all the characters, and like, it was always Rick and Daryl, right? Like, Rick and Daryl were like the big characters on The Walking Dead, and Maggie and Negan, like, yes, they are popular, but they're not Daryl, right? Like, Daryl is just, it's different. And I think that could be why The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon is just seen as the better show, even though I do think that Dead City Season 2 was much better than The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon Season 2. Honestly, I enjoyed season 2 of Dead City a lot compared to, you know, previous seasons of really all the shows. And so that's the funny thing I would say about the spinoffs right now, is that it's just one of those things where, like, that's why The Walking Dead really, you know, everyone kind of celebrated it, because everyone had their favorite characters on the show, right? So it was like, well, you're watching the show for your favorite characters, and now the characters are split up. And so now you're just watching this show or this show. You don't want to watch that show because, you know, maybe your favorite character is not on that show. And so there's all of this talk about like which show was better, and like, you know, they want this show to fail or whatever. I'm just like, just watch all of it. Like, I don't know, or don't watch it. Like, it's fine. It's The Walking Dead. I like all these characters. I'm excited to see where the story's going to go here next. And yeah, we saw Maggie and Negan and what their story was like here, you know, for Dead City. And now we're going to see Daryl and Carol and see, you know, what's going on with them right now. And so I'm excited to see, you know, what Gimple has to say tonight as well in terms of the future of Dead City, and I guess just with The Walking Dead overall, because there's going to be a lot of questions asked, I'm sure, right? So definitely make sure to be a subscriber if you want to get all my Walking Dead content like this, and I'll see you in the next one.